One of the interesting things about Amega is that we're really doing business in lots of different countries. Well, we have offices in 13 or 14 different countries, including a new one opening up in Australia this weekend. And that means that's International Seamless Compensation Plan really means that you can enroll someone in Singapore from here in the U.S., who enrolls someone in Canada, who enrolls someone in the Philippines, and it all just works. And there are very minor differences in the comp plans from country to country just because of legality, and we've got all that managed, and it's very workable. So you don't really see it; it's kind of happening in the background. But that's one of the neat things about our opportunity is that it is international is an understatement. It's just a totally global opportunity. We're selling product in 128 countries, 17 offices. I was wrong, and so we're all over the place, and we're growing strong and fast. And the U.S., India, well, North America and India are the two fastest growing countries. So we're excited to be part of that. I think any discussion that is relevant to making money or how we're paid, it's always important to remember our mission, because our mission is not money or to make money. Money, and don't get me wrong, money's important. Of course, someone famous once said it's right up there with air, and money's important, but it's really just a gauge of how many lives you're changing and how many people you're helping with our amazing products here at Amega. And so it's important that we're all beating that same drum, that our mission is to passionately deliver a life-changing wellness experience to millions worldwide. That's huge. And so the money is just a real small part of what we're up to. And we're a company with a vision. So, you know, I've been around the industry, as many of you have, for a long time, and we hear the word deal. It's another deal. And Amega is just simply not a deal. We have these 4 pillars that we stand on. Arun likes to call them like the legs of a table, where, you know, we're covering all the bases of your and our growth personally on all these different levels: physical, mental, spiritual, personal growth and development, financial freedom and security, and charity. And it's important when you express this as an opportunity that the ability to make money is part of the conversation, but it's important that that part of the message gets out there as well. These guys over here on the left, and ladies, are the Singapore team, and you can see Arun and Eric in there, and there's David. These are the guys that run it from the LLC standpoint. And the way this is all working is that the home office is over in Singapore. So like the VP of marketing over there would be the VP of marketing for all of our companies, and then I'm the VP of sales and marketing just here in the U.S. market. So that's kind of how that structure works. And then you have Calvin Starr, our VP of business development, and Arun Kemmer, our CEO, who's been responsible for, you know, getting us launched here in the U.S. So it's a strong management team, and there's probably a couple of hundred employees worldwide if you count up all the offices. So we're really growing strong. I love to ask this when we're in, you know, belly-to-belly trainings out doing Super Saturdays, because when I ask what is the most amazing part of our compensation plan, I get a lot of different answers. Some people think that it's neat that we have 8 different ways of making money. Some people love the fact that we have a binary on the front that allows us to make money quickly while we build the back-end residual. But really it's a trick question, because the most amazing part of our compensation plan is the products. And I'm so proud when I go out to the field. Really the most I hear people asking to talk about is product. And when I hear what they're saying and doing to share the Amega business, it's not as much about money as it is, look at this amazing product, and we're standing in front of a huge trend, a huge opportunity to be part of something massive. And that's because of the product, not the comp plan. And I like to make that point. Okay. Well, let's get into the meat of the comp plan then. The first thing, obviously, is how to get started. And you know what? Before I do this, actually, I want to just say one other thing, and that is, if you think the comp plan is complicated, it's probably because you're only looking at it for the first or second time. And trust me, first time I looked at it, I felt that it was complicated. And I want to just, I sort of want to soothe you in that area and let you know that there's a lot of information here, And the way to get through it is to go through it several times and refer to it a lot. When people ask questions, just refer to the documentation and find the answer for them, and then you'll learn it. Pretty soon it'll come off the top of your head. So there's a learning curve, and I'm inviting you to be easy on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself, because it really is easy, but it takes a little bit of repetition for you to really get your brain around this thing. The good news is that the most complicated part, I think, is how to start. And after that, it kind of gets easier. So we'll do the hardest one first, and then we'll coast on out. Well, it's important that you understand that silver, titanium, and platinum are not pin levels or achievement levels. They're enrollment options. And you can see that up here at the top where we're saying it's an enrollment option. It's very important. Now, it's illegal in the U.S. and I believe Canada to force someone to buy product when they enroll. And it's important for you as a BA to remember that. If somebody wants to enroll for a $49 business kit, they can do that and not buy any other product, and they still have the ability, even though it's not quite as easy and fast, to maximize the comp plan over a long period of time. But if they don't get the product, it's just that, at the first, they're not going to go up through there and be a titanium or platinum. But there are these 3 ways to start, and what we're doing here is we're building an incentive for people to get started and make a commitment and go fast, and the more they're willing to do, the more we're going to allow them to maximize their earnings in the compensation plan. And from the standpoint of a company, just always remember that every time you see something in a compensation plan, it's meant to drive behavior. So anytime you look at anything in a comp plan, all you have to do is ask yourself, what are they trying to get the reps to do with this part of the comp plan? And here, we're really trying to get them to make enough of a commitment to get enough product into their hands to get started in the business. A couple people have told me over the last year they feel the $900 is too high. But when you really look at it, it's because we have a little bit higher priced products, higher value products, than a company that, for example, has 1 bottle of juice or 1 bottle of pills as their product. If you enroll someone as a platinum, they can make platinum with, let's see, just a bracelet, wand, pendant, and DNA. Those 4 things will get them above platinum in their first order, and those are sort of the flagships of our product line, not just everything. So it really isn't that much to ask someone to get started with $900 in personal purchase to get going. What you'll notice is all of them require just the $49 kit and then their choice of additional products. Where the differences are over here on the right, and I hope you can see my mouse moving around. When they come into the business at the silver level, which is $49 kit and then up to $199 in sales, and the kit adds into that. There's no commission on the kit, but the kit is part of that $49 to $199. When they start their business at that level, we're going to put a $300 cap on their earning potential in what we call the binary. And I'll explain the binary in a minute, but just remember there's one little part of the compensation plan that we are putting a cap on. And then also they get 1 business center, and you can think of a business center for now as a franchise. So they're starting their business, or similar to a franchise, and later we're going to give them more in return for coming in at these higher levels, or enrolling at the higher levels. Okay, so now one part that's a little confusing is that you can see there's 2 levels of titanium. And when we started this over in Singapore and we were rewriting the comp plan, we just simply weren't able to get them to add another name for this other level. So there's actually just 2 levels of titanium. That's how we think of it, as like titanium 1 and 2. And you get 1 titanium business center. The amount is $200 to $899, including the kit. You get $400 cap in the binary, or $400 per business center, because see, at titanium you get 3 titanium business center, like 3 franchises instead of 1. And then you get 4 reserve centers, or 2 in the other titanium. And the distinction here, well, the definition of a reserve center I'll give you in a minute. It's just like an unactivated position that you can use later. So imagine that it's, instead of over here you're getting 3 franchises, up here you're getting literally the potential of 7 franchises at the titanium level. So the system is going to pretend that you just enrolled with 3 titanium business centers. That's probably a better way to put that. Okay, and then at platinum, and You know, anybody that's serious, this is the place for them to look, but sometimes people wait to upgrade later, which we'll talk about. When you enroll with $900 or more, then we're going to start you with 3 platinum business centers instead of 3 titaniums and 4 reserves, and they're just like 1 and then 2, and then there's 4 reserve centers straight across the bottom. And the maximum earning is $1,200 per business center per day, so $3,600 really in the team binary on those top 3 positions, but I still like to call it $1,200 a day at the very top spot. Now, if you max out, that's when you start working in those other positions. So really, you're only going to be working at the top position for any length of time. Okay, so that's how you can enroll, and those are the different options for enrolling.